All right, just start off, just so proud of our football team. Back-to-back weeks, going on the road. This is definitely a very unique place, a loud atmosphere, with what they do, offensively, defensively, incorporating a lot of different schemes. I thought our guys prepared at a very high level, and I had a lot of confidence coming into the game of how we would play. And our guys did not disappoint. I mean, they've been remarkable, and they've worked so hard in their preparation, continuing to focus on our growth, continue to focus on our development. I thought we were dominant tonight. Offense, defense, special teams, everybody did their part to take place in that victory, and it was really special. And to be able to see our defense, keep them out of the end zone. It's back-to-back weeks without giving up a touchdown. I mean, I'm just so proud of that group for what they're doing. And then offensively, went over 200 yards rushing again. I mean, that was a top 15 ranked defense that we played against. They've done a good job of holding people throughout the course of the year. And for us, I mean, our guys just, they believed in what they could do. And I thought Jordan was dang near flawless. I mean, he was exceptional in all things. Trey Benson had another big night. It was good to get a lot of players were able to get out there and make an impact in the game, and we're continuing to see growth from a lot of those playmakers. And I just thought it was an awesome performance. So proud of our football team, and we're continuing to take steps of where we need to go. And this was a big game for us. I mean, it was the last ACC game. We wanted to make a statement for how we finished, and I thought they made a great statement for just the growth that we've seen throughout the course of the season. Obviously there's been some times we've been knocked down, but our guys they've jumped back up and continue to believe, continue to push. The leadership that we have within that locker room is something that is well earned. The way that our guys work, the way that they believe in each other, and I'm just so honored and grateful that I get to stand on that sideline watching those guys play, and just being a part of this process of helping our program continue to grow to where it needs to be.
From a maturity standpoint, playing well from the jump a week after the rivalry game and the emotions that go with that, how impressive is that?
I mean, it's huge. I mean, to be able to come out, because everybody's expectation is that you're going to have a letdown. Because you play a rivalry game, you play really well. If it was about them, maybe. But it's still about us. It's still about our growth. It's still about our process. It's still about making sure that we're cleaning up the areas that we can clean up and go out there and play our best game. Was tonight perfect? No. So I can promise you tomorrow we're going to go back to work, and we're going to focus on the things that we need to do to continue to improve and get better. But that's what this team is embracing, and it started a few years ago. And you know what? There's been some good, some bad, some great high points and some low points. But when you continue to believe and you're investing that work and you pour into each other and you're doing it with all your heart, man, it's fun to watch. And I think our guys are playing as good as anybody right now. And it's impressive to see. But the only way to continue that is to go back to work, and that's what we're going to do. And that's what our guys believe in.
Can you expand on your defense and what your defense did to hold Syracuse? 160 yards total, 1 of 11 on third downs.
Yeah, I thought we did a great job of attacking, and and I'm not saying just in blitzes or pressures, but just the way, the mentality of how they played. I thought our defense was flying around. They've got some really talented young men. Tucker's one of the best backs you're gonna face. When Schrader, Schrader, you see his size, his ability. When he pulls the ball down. I mean, they ran him a good amount tonight, and that's something that presents challenges. But our guys embrace that, and I think that our defensive front did a wonderful job. Being able to be disruptive, for some long yardage situations. We're able to really attack on third downs, and you did a great job in that situation as well. So it was good. It was just an all-around great effort from the top down.
Hey, Mike, what changed since Clemson? Because everything was not rolling in that losing streak, and then also now everything's clicking. Like the offense is clicking, defense is clicking. What changed since that Clemson game?
I just think we became more consistent in what we were doing. And you sit there and you go through the 3 losses, and I mean there's just segments of each game that we didn't play as well as we needed to play. And when you're playing experienced teams, when you're playing teams that are talented, that are good, those are all 3 good teams that we lost to. but when you don't capitalize on those moments, whether it's a situation, whether it's third downs, whether it's red zone, whether it's just a sequence in the game where it's all all three phases, where they have a mistake, it builds upon each other. And I think we've eliminated a lot of those mistakes here these last 3 weeks. And our guys are working really hard. They're applying the lessons of what they've learned, and it's showing up, and we need to continue to show up for us to get to where we want to go.
Was it important to punch in that last touchdown when it was on 4th down?
Yeah, I mean, it was you get down on the goal line. We want to make sure that we're scoring touchdowns, and obviously situations in the game. I was disappointed we didn't get in on the play before, but on the 4th down, I thought our guys did a nice job of executing the play that was called, and it's just every play in that game was important. They even in the 4th quarter where we had some drives that didn't go the way we wanted, it was guys getting experience for them to be able to learn from, and it was I think that with that mindset and approach, I mean that's why you coach for 60 minutes. That's why because every experience matters to those young men, because it's their opportunity, it's their chance to grow and get better. But I was definitely glad that we were able to finish in the end zone.
Was there something different between winning and winning by as much as you can win by? I mean, in terms of not embarrassing the opponent, but just being dominant.
I want guys to go out there and play to the best of their ability, and we're never going to try to do something to. It's like some of those decisions late in the game are, what do you do here? And so you don't ever want to show somebody up, but also you got guys in there that they work their butts off in preparation, and they want to go out there and show what they can do, and we need to see what they can do, because they're one play away or a couple plays away, and just to see exactly where they are so we can paint the picture of what they need to do to continue to improve. So it's a fine balance in that, but I think that the scoreboard speaks to I thought our guys played well, and so it's I'm proud of them.
You talked about Jordan, and obviously so much of his passing game has been a lot of the explosive plays, a lot of deep shots. Tonight, I don't think we really had any. It was a lot of the underneath. That seemed like that's what the game plan was. Just how impressed are you just with how well-rounded, kind of whatever you want him to do, whatever the game plan is, how well he executes it?
He's a really good quarterback, and he embraces what we lay out, and there were. I think I mentioned earlier in the week, one of the biggest things that Syracuse's defense has improved in. I think they've limited the big shots, and they did a nice job with that tonight. When you're keeping a deep safety on the roof, sometimes you got to go and work through your progression. And I thought Jordan was very comfortable out there on the field. I thought he did a great job of executing the offense, and was awesome in where he was locating the ball.
Is it good to bring in the backups in one of these games to see what they look like, just in case something happens down the road and people, I know he knows everything, what's going on?
Yeah, that in-game experience is something that's that's crucial for each player, and every player that goes through wants an opportunity to show where they are, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but it's still a chance for them to all really take those positive steps. So you'll hear in practice for what they needed to get better.
The defense got faced with that sudden change after the strip sack, but then they go out and
that was one of my favorite things of the game. And we talk you talk about work, you talk about preparation. That doesn't mean it's always going to be pretty. And sometimes you get thrown into a challenging spot. Well, how do you respond? And that's the response. There was no, and I'll say this about our team, it's been like that, and that's been the constant. Is it doesn't matter, offense, defense, special teams, right? Good play or bad play. You don't feel people going at each other or hanging their head because this is a little bit more difficult now. No, give me the opportunity, get me out on that field, and let me go make my play, right? And that is the mindset that we want, and I love that from our team. I love that from our defense, and that's where you get that type of stop right after a negative play and being put in a tough situation. Well, that shows your mentality, that shows your heart, and just an incredible response.
And Zaria Thomas recovering the outside kick.
Yeah. Yes. No, that was good, and once again we felt pretty confident that there was going to be a chance that would show up, but it took a positive step. It didn't work out as well for us a few weeks ago, but for Zaria to come and respond in that situation and recover the kick, proud of him for that.
Who got to break the rock and why?
Adam Fuller. And I tell you, so many players on defense you could go through. I mean the stat line is incredible. Last week Fabian broke the rock, because of on behalf of the defensive performance. But I don't know how long it's been.
2013.
It's 2013, back-to-back games without giving up a touchdown, and we got great leadership there too. And Coach Fuller and the defensive staff. I mean, it's on behalf of them. They put forth a great plan. Also having to prepare for all the potential quarterbacks, this, that, and to go back-to-back weeks without giving up a touchdown is impressive. So he broke the rock on behalf of the defense and all of the great things that they've done.
What are the biggest differences you've seen in the defense these last 3 games?
Well, I mean, you see the confidence, you see, the leadership that we have, and just the energy that they play with, and it starts up front. You got guys, Robert Cooper, Fabian Lovett, Jared Verse, McClendon, Patrick Payton. I mean, you go through that 4-scene unit. Dennis Briggs, I can go through all of them, right? But you take that 4-scene unit, then you go to the linebackers, and you see the style and mentality of which they play with. I mean, I love watching our linebackers, fly around. We put a lot on those guys. We challenge them with what they do, and then that carries over into the defensive backfield. When you see the versatility, I thought Akeem Dent, really flashed, had some great plays today. The ball was out in the open field, and he got, one-on-one with one of the best backs, in the country, and gets him down, and then next play I think makes another big play. Just flying around. I like seeing that growth. I mean, obviously everybody's sees Jamie and the work that he does. I think our corners have really gotten better throughout the course of the year. I think we're one of the best pass defenses in the country, because they're all playing together. We said it throughout the year, you want 11 guys playing as one. Well, these guys are embracing that mentality, and it's really showing up well on game day.
It probably doesn't seem like a big deal because of the final score, but going into half, Ryan, in that situation, the way things unfolded.
I loved it. I mean, it's like another, please let us get one of those circumstances. We had a couple false starts. We had which I'm not real happy about, but we had a couple false starts. Tried to ice a couple different stoppage, and he was out there, and it was funny because our defensive players ran out and they all started trying to hype him up, and I was like, guys, but he loved it, and be able to go out there and hit the field goal there before half was big, and I'm just proud of him. He's another young man in our program that's had some challenges early in the season. He was stuck to it, continued to work, and he's been really good for us. You'll hear these last few weeks.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
guys.
Mike.